Good morning. I'd like to call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Present.
Mr. Donald? Present. Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk? Ms. Weber? Present. Ms. Parker?
Present.
Mr. Swanson?
Present.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Miller? Present. Mr. Long? Present. Mr. Hunter? Present. Ms. Foster? Present. Ms. Armour Earps? Present. Mr. Lowy? Present. Mr. Wheeler? Present. Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Can I have a motion to allow Ms. Parker and Mr. Swanson to enter via Zoom? Motion by Mr. Miller, second by Mr. Lowy. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is public comment. I have no slips of public comment in front of me. Are there any public comment in the back? Seeing
They're
none.
doing the annual inspection for the fire alarm.
Is your fired?
No, no, they're just doing the annual.
Next up is the approval of minutes from the May 28th, 2024 meeting. Motion by Mr. Hunter to approve, second by Mr. Dunnell. Any additions or corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the Finance Department with Mr. McCarty. In your packets, you have all the miscellaneous financial reports. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. All right, first up, we'll cover the financial reports. As you can see, unfortunately, the theme going on right now is kind of a lower trend happening that we're keeping a close eye on. So the one that surprised me the most this month was income tax. Kind of jumped out of nowhere as far as a trend. So we are watching this close. We are using various variables and variances models, trying to project this out. So we're watching it close. But you can see where each month is as compared to the prior month. PPRT, the information we had there was about a $1.7 million adjustment. We're getting close, so we'll see if hopefully we don't surpass that with the changes going on and watching that. So it's a update on these. I don't know if there's any specific questions, but just wanted to touch base that we're watching it close.
Any questions from the committee? Next up, cash flow update.
So cash flow, we had a 3 payroll month in May. As we continue on with June and however many payrolls in July before the distribution that the Treasurer's Office makes. These are estimates as far as timing, when that distribution may happen, but no other things to identify at this point. So.
Still looks healthy. Any questions or comments? Claims for recommendation for approval and not approval. Before we begin this one, I just want to point out the VAC and the Health Department per the State's Attorney's Office. These are just claims that are sent to this committee. They probably should not be sent to this committee since they have their own boards. So the VAC claim, this committee really has no oversight over. So it can be read into the record, but for the future, these ones do not come back here. Chairman Wheeler.
Just for clarification,
yes.
The rejected claims.
Rejected, yes.
Rejected. The
yes.
other ones, we don't want to create a separate process. We do it as a courtesy, the oversight, to put an extra set of eyes on stuff. As a Steve in the auditor's office. So we're not saying that for the flow. Mm-hmm. I just wanted Steve to get clear direction here. We're just talking about stuff that's rejected for those two departments that are not departments of the county.
Just because they have their own separate boards that approve their claims. And it sounds like this claim was already approved through that board. So
if I could just double check maybe repeating, but still bring it just for FYI, because
as just FYI,
our normal process, we see those notes, we bring them just to make sure that there's approval, so we keep the claims moving. Okay, just for FYI purposes.
Yes.
For future. Okay, if we see those notes. All right, just so I was clear on
Yep.
how to flow, how it's gonna flow. Okay. Do you want me to read these?
Yeah, read them
in
into
at
the
this
record.
point?
Yes.
All right, just for clarification purposes and full disclosure, the Kankakee Area Career Center claim, you got the top, had a half a ream of paper connected with it. I chose not to scan, but I will scan it and email it to you if anybody wants the full copy. So I just want to make sure it was available to you. I didn't want to clog up all of the information that you were receiving. So there it is. So I'll read everything in. Kankakee Area Career Center. This is a corner bill, $7,461. A credit card bill for the coroner's office, total $673.96. This is for State's Attorney Jones Funeral Home, $1,500. State's Attorney Latrina Green, reimbursement $63.18. Portia Cephas, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, reimbursement State's Attorney's Office $24.61. Two for the Illinois Bone Institute, both for Correction Department, both are $5,000. And then the BAC claim for $809.75.
Did you read into the record the coroner's office of $1,485 or $58.40? I have this one in the packet.
There you go.
Well, okay, yeah, it gets broke down.
Okay, so they broke it down
so
even further.
The other is within the general fund.
Okay.
And then, yeah, these, the ones we have to write a check for, come out of the special fund.
Okay.
For that amount.
All right, thank you. Mr. Downey, Sheriff Downey.
Yes, good morning. I won't waste much of the board's time. I just want to reiterate two of those claims in there for corrections to the Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, formerly known as Oak Orthopedics. We have been contracted with Oak Orthopedics for, I believe, slightly over 3 or 4 years, where Oak actually sends a orthopedic doctor out to the jail, as opposed to corrections transporting that individual out to Oak. As I said, this has been going on for a number of years. To start refusing these claims now is typical. I'm actually kind of shocked that I actually had a claim refused. I'm kidding, of course. But you know, again, it's a waste of our staff's time, and it's a safety issue for us because we now do not have to transport inmates across town, outside. It's a safety and security issue for our staff and Oak. And you know, this is the second time that I can remember, and there's probably more, where someone who sits on the board at Riverside is now questioning something that doesn't have anything to do with Riverside. It's actually Riverside's competition. So I'm just wondering if there's some sort of conflict that is there. But you know, this is the second time that we've had to do this, and in conflict with Riverside. And just for the board's own information, we actually have a contract with Riverside, and I think you might recall that none of those claims ever get questioned. So I'll just leave it at that. Appreciate the time, and thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you, Sheriff. Any other department head that has a comment regarding claims? Any board? Yeah. Mr. Donald.
Move that we combine and approve.
Motion to combine and approve, second by Mr. Long. Any discussion? Mr. Featherling, question.
Is that leaving them out because of the allowance?
Microphone, please. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I turned on Steve's.
Okay, gotcha.
how does it come out to be 5,000? Is that just an even number? They don't bill you for each thing they do, or is that just a contract amount, $5,000, period? Because all the medical bills I've never seen one come out even numbers, so. That must be is that what you pay per month, Mike, Mr. Downey?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't change.
No, it never changed.
Okay.
For the record, he said no, it never changes.
And this is something new then, got bounced out?
Can you go to the back microphone, I guess?
It's all right, Mike, you can sit down.
For the record, the recorder of deeds called me old. But yes, that has been ongoing. That is an ongoing monthly charge for the last 3 or 4 years. I believe it's the first time that this has been questioned.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Thank you. Just wanted to double check.
All right, we're good on that. All right, so we have a motion to approve the claims on the floor. Any other questions or discussions from the committee? If not, roll call.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Aye.
Mr. Gentle? Mr. Hess? Ms. Weber?
Aye.
Ms. Parker? I'll come back to her. Mr. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Miller? Mr. Long? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Ms. Armour Earps? Mr. Lowy? Mr. Wheeler? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next up is monthly claims.
I'm Dr. Polk and I'm here.
I'm sorry, Dr. Polk.
That's okay.
Next up is monthly claims. As you can see in your packet, there are quite a few pages of claims. Anything to highlight, Steve? I didn't see anything questionable or...
Nothing specific to discuss unless there's any questions.
Motion to approve. Motion approved by Mr. Featherling, second by Mr. Dunnell. Questions? Ms. Weber.
Thank you. Under the ARPA lost revenue are 2 bills to White. I just wondered if that's the rest of it, the last of it, or there'll be more of it?
It is. There are still more. My
Okay.
understanding, there's still a few more. There's, even though they're taking ownership or whatever you want, you're right, being able to operate now, their generator and other things,
yes, sure.
peripheral, I believe are still yet to be completed. So I don't believe we're quite done yet with the totals.
But that's a good amount to pay, 700,000 is good.
Any other questions or comments regarding monthly claims? If not, roll call.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Aye.
Mr. Gentle? Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Miller? Mr. Long? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Ms. Armour Earps? Mr. Lowy? Mr. Wheeler? Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next up is direct ARPA Hopkins Park request.
Chairman, you want me to take this, or do you want to take this? Or just read the letter. I included the letter. So this is the Village of Hopkins Park portion of the lift station repairs that we participated with Pembroke Township. They identify their totals, and I do have the backup here if anybody also
Motion to approve.
anybody wants it. So their portion is 12. Can I finish the number,
Yes.
Mr.?
Yep.
Their total impact is $12,617.47.
Okay, motion on the floor by Mr. Hunter to approve, second by Ms. Foster. Chairman Wheeler.
Just so the committee knows, we knew about this as they were going through the project. As I was talking with Board Member Weber before the meeting, you'll see the bill and the claims for the township, a large part of the township portion of the work. It's all one system that goes between the two, and so this work was necessary for the city to do in their jurisdiction, so the township fix would work. So that's why you see it trickle over. Typically, we didn't give money to municipalities who got ARPA of their own, but in this case, you see what they did with their own ARPA money. They worked on their system as well. So we were all together on this project, if you will. So I just thought I'd put a full picture of what we did there, and the end result of what we stopped was the brown pool in the basement, if you will.
Mhm.
You know, that's we got that addressed. So, and moving on. Hopefully, we won't need to do it anytime soon.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Ms. Foster.
Yeah, I just want to add on that the Village of Hopkins Park, Pembroke Township, we thank the chairman for the upfront money so that we could get this project completed.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? If not, roll call.
Mr. Eka?
Aye.
Mr. Dunnell?
Aye.
Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Fetterling? Mr. Miller? Mr. Long? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Armor Earps? Mr. Lowy?
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler? Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next up is ARPA lost revenue adjustment.
Yeah, so this is our fourth adjustment for four that we are allowed to do. Just a reminder to everybody for this ARPA, the Department of Treasury allowed us to do one of two things for the lost revenue. Is one, take a flat amount of 10 million, up to 10 million, depending on what your allocation was, or to do four calculations. So this is calculation number 4, now that fiscal year 23 is closed. And our total with this calculation of 778,961 brings us to 12,876,746 for our lost revenue calculations total. So that's kind of how it all played out. I have the other three if anybody you know, would like to know those numbers, but that was our total. So for this motion and resolution, if you want to, for the fourth one, it would be 778,961. So this is an adjustment from Fund 095 to Fund 098, basically, in our how we've been processing this.
Is there a motion on the floor? Motion by Mr. Dunnell, second by Mr. Wheeler. Questions or comments? Chairman Wheeler.
You know, I didn't think of this question when we first talked about this, Steve. Is the abatement calculated in the lost revenue calculation? I don't think it would be, but I just wanted to ask, because you remember we cut property taxes for people this year substantially. And it's not a revenue question, but it's an end result question. I think I know the answer, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Technically, in the calculation, it would be because we lowered property tax, and property tax is one of the calculations that go into this.
It's not the levy; it's
formula.
The actual collection.
Actual collection.
Okay, all right. So that's all part of it. So we do have a little bit lower revenue number for this lost revenue based on that, but you can see how it's kind of hitting us a little bit. The strength of our finances is working against us on how we allocate between the stuff that can be spent easily on infrastructure and the stuff that is very restrictive in terms of the ARPA category. And that's what we're working on next, so the committee knows. We're seeing if there's some things that, if possible, can be switched from one to the other. From, at the time, we didn't necessarily concern ourselves with, is it really restrictive? You know, it's something that could have been for ARPA, we just put into lost revenue because it was a big number. Now we're going back and seeing if we can shift some allocations as much as possible to free up the streamline the process. I hope that makes sense to the committee. We want to grow that free and clear number, and then the restrictive number, again, is very difficult to spend. You know, it has to be like, for air handlers, probably a percentage of that could be for air quality, but not all of it because it cools the air as well. You see my point?
Yeah.
So we've got to get through that process, and we've got, what, 3 or 4 months to do it? Hence why Wes is out there getting all these prices on all these different things so we can make the final decisions here. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
We've got to get everything together in a basket and see, by my estimation, we got over $3 million of projects on the table and about $1 million of commitments already made for that. See what I mean?
Yep. Thank you. Any other questions or comments for Steve? If not, roll call.
Mr. Eka?
Aye.
Mr. Dunnell? Mr. Hess. Ms. Polk.
Aye.
Ms. Weber. Mr. Swanson.
Aye.
Mr. Featherling. Mr. Miller. Mr. Long. Mr. Hunter.
Aye.
Ms. Foster. Ms. Armour Earps. Mr. Lowy.
Aye.
Mr. Wheeler. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Anything else, Steve?
That's all I had.
Thank you very much, sir. Next up is the Treasurer's Office. Can I have a motion to combine and approve the Treasurer's reports? A motion by Mr. Hunter, second by Ms. Polk. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Good morning, Treasurer Africano.
Good morning, Mr. Ackle. You ready for me?
Yeah.
Before I start, I'd like to welcome Mr. Lowy. Welcome to the board. It's awesome to have you. And I believe as of 5 p.m. or 4:30 p.m. on Monday, we have an auditor-elect, Colton Eckhoff. Oh, welcome.
Thank you.
I don't have anything really to report other than we've taken in about 90 million so far in tax collection. Tomorrow's the last day. 4:30 tomorrow is the last day of collection. Other than that, I think everything is going well.
Don't forget the recorder.
The recorder? What about the recorder?
She's in.
She's good? Okay, the recorder is good according to Commissioner Hunter. I know there was one other thing and I can't think of it. Oh, I know what I meant to say. So the sweep account for the special fund is been in effect since right before the first of the month, and it looks like, if I had to guess, we're going to be about $80,000 a month in interest on the new sweep account. So I'm pretty excited about that. Other than that, I would entertain any questions.
Great job with creating that account and sweeping it, Miss Earps.
How's the online payment going for taxes?
Online payment is good. It seems to me, anecdotally at least, that every year since I started, that there's fewer people that come into the office, which, you know, either way we would deal with, but I think it speaks to the fact that there are several different ways to pay. And then sometimes someone will come in and you're like, well, how do they not know that they could do this? So maybe I'll say it again. Thank you for asking that question. You can pay taxes at any bank in Kankakee County except for PNC, and you don't have to be a member of the bank. You can drive through the drive-through and pay your taxes. You can't be late on your taxes, but during payment time, you can drive into any drive-through and pay your taxes, whether you're a member of their bank or not. And that is a great benefit to our taxpayers. And yeah, so that's it. So I think we're seeing less people come in. You can obviously drop off in the drop box. Oh, I know what I meant to say. So we put our taxes in the mail on the 21st, I believe. And there were some taxes here in Kankakee County that didn't get delivered for 14 days through the mail system, which is unbelievable to me. But I think is happening more and more as I talk to people. So next year we'll accommodate that for that time. But yeah, 2 weeks to get your taxes from the post office to your door is pretty incredible. And we used a different printer and mailer this year. We saved about $3,500 doing that. So, questions?
Ms. Weber.
I just thank you. I was at the State Bank of Herscher on Monday, and they had been busy all day long with people paying taxes. So thank you for allowing us to pay at the banks.
Yeah, and can I tell you, it's just if you can imagine So Midland States Bank, just I'll take them for instance, they will collect 26 million of a, so over 10% of our taxes they will collect. So that would, I mean, the amount of employees that we would have to add for the summer would be unbelievable if banks didn't take them. And that's why I've always been so adamant about not doing business with PNC. And I have no problem saying that. If you don't do business with us and take our taxes, then certainly we're not going to do business with you, because it's a big, big benefit for people, for our community and for our county in terms of money savings to have banks collect. And so it's very important to me.
Any other questions or comments from the committee? I do want to point out that the treasurer's office is open on Thursdays. Before Treasurer Africano came here, they were closed on Thursdays during tax time. So you could go down to the treasurer's office and still use their services on Thursdays during tax time. So I want to point that out.
That's been a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else from the committee? All right. Thank you, sir. Any other business for the committee? Chairman Wheeler.
Yes, I did want to ask the committee if they would like me to have a conversation with the state's attorney. If you notice that, if I had to put a percentage on it, maybe 60 to 70% of the claims that are rejected by the auditor's office say simply see previous note with no explanation. That is unprofessional work under any viewpoint. I would like to get the approval to process those bills for payment because they're not clearly objecting to the claim. I would ask for this in writing, documented from the auditor. Please put your objections in writing. He refuses to do so. And when he does put it in writing, we can't read it half the time. So maybe if 3 or 4 people review the problem he has, and if we can't figure it out, process it as well. We're making our vendors wait. Our local suppliers to the county wait for their money, using them as a bank to satisfy some kind of ego tripping that's going on. So I don't know if the committee would like me to explore that with the state's attorney to stay in tune with the law and oversight, but when it's political in nature, saying my office doesn't agree with this kind of spending, well, there is no acumen that makes that assertion. That's all political. If he says the invoice doesn't match the claim, well, then that's a balls and strikes call. If he says this is alcohol, that you can't buy alcohol, that's a balls and strikes call. If I don't agree with this, that's not balls and strikes. That's saying I want to be the sheriff, or I want to be the coroner, or I want to be the county board. He's not that. He's not even here to work. So I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm tired of wasting time on it. And this moment is the last I will spend on that situation ever again. So you tell me how you want to proceed.
Anybody from the committee want to agree with that? Disagree? Mr. Donald agrees with that. Hunter? Yeah? Head nod, head nod. Yeah? Okay. You have the head nod from the committee then.
We'll see what the state's attorney says.
Mr.
If
Hunter?
we have to do this dance every month, we will. But what I just
a general question. We're paying our bills within 30 days.
Microphone, Mr. Hunter, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good.
I thought it was, generally speaking, I think we're doing real well in terms of paying our bills, and I think we're doing that within 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're objecting
with
to
the
it.
exception of this.
Exception
Correct.
to this.
Yes.
And we tend to do business with a lot of local suppliers. It's their tax revenue.
Mhm.
So we tend to give them a shot at earning business from the county. They can't be twice the price of somebody
Correct.
else, but you see what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Thank
All
you.
right. Next up is old and new business. I want to point out Miss Weber brought this with her today. So the animal control facility, Monday, July 1st, 4:30 to 5:30, ribbon cutting at 5 o'clock. Kelly will be sending this to you in an email. Please make sure that you're there. It's a fantastic facility, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. What's that? Yeah, July 1st, Monday. Next up, the auditor's office. Nobody is here. Mr. Huss, do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Mr. Hess, second by Mr. Lowy. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carries.